Hey there, Vanagon Addicts. It's Ken Wilford here at Vanagon. I'm just wanted to say hi, give you guys a quick live stream here on Friday before the 4th of July. Wish you guys the best. Hope you guys have a great 4th of July and be able to enjoy some time with your van, enjoy some time with your family. We've been having a lot of good feedback on our latest set of videos we've been doing for restoring our Karat Vanagon. Just letting you guys know that we are almost done with that. So I went ahead and checked out the rear brakes. I was going to do a big video about how to restore the rear brakes. Guess what? The rear brakes were amazing. There was nothing wrong with them. So I put them back together, cleaned it, put it back together, went to the front brakes, brand new rotors, everything was good up there. All the bushings, ball joints look great. I just put that back together. Okay, so the van, I actually got it on the road, test drove it. The air conditioning is working excellent. Again, one of the guys wanted to know like what is the actual temperature reading coming out of the register. I mean, what you're looking for is about a 30-degree temperature difference. Okay, so it's not going to be 35 degrees. Okay, if I had to guess where it was coming out, it would probably be around 60 degrees. It was about a 90-degree day and super humid. We went for a drive to town. While we were driving to town, I had to turn the temperature down to about middle, and I had to turn the fans down to 2 because it was just uncomfortably cold on my face. Okay, so I would say that that van is pretty much a success. I see Chris on here. Shout out to Chris. So I really appreciate you guys watching those videos. If you haven't had a chance to take a look at them restoring this Karat Vanagon, please do so. In saying that, the other day I got a call from a customer, an email from a customer. Said, hey man, I'm in the Coast Guard, I'm being deployed somewhere else. I got this Karat Vanagon that has the Bostig engine conversion in it. Do you know anybody that's interested in purchasing it? Long story short, I bought that. So that's going to be another set of videos on that probably in the next week or so. We can look that over, see some of the stuff that we're going to want to do on that particular one. No one has ever finished hooking up the air conditioning system, but it doesn't look like it's going to be that bad. I kind of hooked it up electrically. Everything's working electrically. That's usually the problem you get the most. Yes, Chris, I got your message on that, so thank you for that. That's the most tricky part of it, to be honest with you, is the electrical part. To me, I can make the hoses, I can clean everything out on the inside, replace all the other components, but if the electrical system is kind of like full of gremlins, that can be problems. So that's something to look forward to in the future. I'll be going over that van. It was owned by an aircraft mechanic in the Coast Guard, so it's actually in pretty nice condition driving wise, but it's got a lot of rust different places. It was originally from California, then it got sent to Hawaii. It was there for a while. And anybody that knows about Hawaii stuff knows that stuff gets rusty out there. Okay, so that's kind of what's happened to it. So that's one of the things that's going on. I wanted to remind you guys too, last week we announced a big upgrade to our website where you can kind of shop around, leave stuff in your cart, and it should be there. Like I put stuff in my cart on my desktop here, like because I actually buy stuff through my website. I know that sounds funny, but people call me and they're like, I need this, this, and this, and it's on the website, so I just use the website and buy it and send it to them, because the website is how it's the most organized way for me to like actually get orders, and I can see everything as I'm doing them. I see Rob, how you doing, man? You get orders, I can process them, get them at the door, and it's all like kind of a nice workflow for me. That's one of the reasons why I really prefer, if you guys are going to buy stuff, order stuff, Definitely use the website because it helps me out so much. Just keeping the order in front of my face and keeping it, it gets done the fastest that way. Really, I like talking to people on the phone, but if you don't need to talk to me about something technical and you're just buying some stuff, just use the site. So we got this new cart set up, and people were bugging me about that. Billy Shepard, a bunch of other people were bugging me about that. But so the cart doesn't expire. So guess what, guys? The cart does not expire now. So you should be in hog heaven. Okay. You can still use the other feature on the site, which is the where you heart stuff and you put it in like your wanted folder. I'm even forgetting what that's even called. But you can still use that if you want. Okay, but you can also just leave it in your cart. It'll be there the next time you log in, most likely, unless you clear your cookies or something. So what else? But then you might see this new feature on the site, which again, this is something that people have been requesting me for a while. I guess I'll show it to you real quick. Let me click over to that. Let me go to this dumb thing. Nope, that's not it. All right, bear with me, guys. Sorry. Let me click over to desktop. Okay, then I'll click onto this. Okay. So, what some people have been asking me for a while is this thing right here. Okay, select number of products to display. Right now we have like 12 products in a grid, and then down here at the bottom you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to page 66. Okay, now I clicked on every single part for like a 1.9, and that's a lot of products. But normally you would be taking this, going to picking this, going to air intake, and then getting like a less of a list than 66 pages. But okay, select number of products to display. So you can actually adjust this to view all, 160, 48, 32, 24. Okay, so don't get too excited. It doesn't actually work yet. They were working on it the last couple of days. I tried it today, and it does this. So it's not done. They didn't tell me it was done. I just got excited when I saw, the implementation right here. I don't know why they implemented it on the main site if it's not actually finished, but so that should be done probably by next week. So something to look forward to that way. All right, let me switch back to you guys looking at me. So yeah, you can see our wonderful error codes and stuff on the website. It's just it's part of the fun. So we still are going to have another Karat Vanagon to restore. It's going to be it's going to be that Z-Tech or Bostik engine conversion. We are going to be restoring the air conditioning on that as well. So hey, Billy Shepard. And so I talked about this already, Rob, but yeah, the air in that 91 Karat is doing amazing. Okay, so the other night, my wife and I went for a drive. It was about 89 degrees, and we turned it on. I didn't bring my little thermometer with me. I should have did that, but it was blowing so cold that within 10 minutes, I had to turn the fan speed down to 2, and I had to turn the temperature down to middle, because I just couldn't take it. Like, I was getting a brain freeze. So it turned out really good. I kind of thought it might, because that car, you could tell they were doing some stuff on the air conditioning system. Like, they had a brand new hose for the high side hose that goes to the condenser in the front. So that's kind of like letting you know, like, hey, they are trying to get it fixed and trying to get it working properly. And so really it was just down to I don't know. I mean, when I took it apart, there was nothing in the system, no pressure in the system, or very little. But when I changed that dryer, that was the only part that looked kind of sketchy, and put some new O-rings in the system. It held vacuum. It took a nice vacuum, held vacuum, like you guys saw in the videos. So that one is pretty much done. If anybody is looking for a Karat, a 91 Karat Vanagon, and you saw all those videos, guess what? It's for sale. Alright, so give me some comments. What do you guys think I should ask for that car? So, the car is supposed to have 185,000 miles on it. Okay? The engine is supposed to be a low mileage rebuild, but I don't have any paperwork. So this was supposed to be a Boston Bob rebuild. Then the guy got it. This is all story from him. He bought the rebuild engine. They put it in, and they had a head gasket problem with it. So they took it out and put head gaskets. Had head gaskets put on it, and then it never got finished. So, like when I was getting it running, yeah, it runs amazing, and the engine purrs like a kitten. So there's no problem with the engine. It's got all brand new coolant hoses on it. It's got a good exhaust system on it. It's got redone AC. Interior is very good, except for some places where they cut, a little bit of and mess with stuff here and there because of the handicap van thing. But it doesn't look too unsightly. Really, the only major thing going on with it is the two rear-facing jump seats. So the driver's seat has electrical swivel on it that can spin around if you push these two buttons. Or actually push one button, it spins. The other one actually moves you forwards and backwards. So they kind of like modified the base to mount that on there. So that's kind of cut down a little bit. I can't really put it back the way it was. And because of that, I can't really put the jump seat on the driver's side. Like, you don't want to put the jump seat there and then the driver's seat can turn around. Like, it's kind of dumb. And plus the part that would mount to is kind of cut out a little bit. So the only side I could put a jump seat on is on the passenger side, but just to be honest with you, when I had my Karat and I was using it all the time, that was the side I would take out. Like, I would take that seat out and just not use it because it's kind of in the way. So, what do you guys think? What should I ask for that car? I was thinking like around 8,000. Is that unreasonable? Is that reasonable? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I overestimate what they're worth, and sometimes I underestimate because I see people online and they're buying stuff, and they'll come to me. Like, this is not like I see it on the Samba for whatever. They'll come to me after they bought it, like, I just paid $15,000 for this, and I look at it and I'm like, wow, that's not really that good. Sorry, but I wouldn't have paid anything close to that for that because it has all these issues I'm seeing. So Chris is asking me, do you have the texture control for my 87 tin top AC? It turns the AC on and off, but I can't use it to adjust the temperature. You know about the temperature control? I should have one of them here. They're getting harder to get. You cannot get them new, so you can only get them used. Okay, so... Alright, so what else? So if you guys have any questions, okay, we only got 5 people watching, so maybe not a lot of questions out there. I really just wanted to come on and wish all you guys a happy 4th of July. I know it's not till next week, till next Thursday, but some of you guys are probably, taking off and doing things. So, yeah, I mean, the body on the Karat is actually very good. So there's one little spot on the corner of the windshield that's getting a little rusty. I could take the windshield out and fix that and put a new windshield in because it's got a couple little tiny itty bitty stars in it that you can't even see. But if I'm taking the windshield out, I'll put a new one in. And then on the driver's side, there's that little vertical seam right there, right behind the door. That has a tiny little bit of bubbling in it. That's all that I can see so far. So here's my plan. I'm going to pull all the panels off, side panels off, and the front bumper off. Paint everything black to match. I've already painted the grill black, already painted the emblem black. And then when I bought my new Karat, another Karat, the guy has 18-inch Mercedes-Benz rims on it. But he actually bought 16-inch Jetta wheels and had them like powder-coated black. And he has all the mounting stuff for it. So guess what? I think I'm going to put those 16-inch black rims on there. So you're going to have nice, bigger black rims, black cladding all the way around. And I think it's going to look pretty awesome, to be honest with you, on the outside. I'm also going to put the LED headlights, the H4 LED headlights. So I kind of wanted to mention that too. Right now I only have 4 sets of them left. You guys have been buying them, so appreciate that. I got 4 sets of those LED square headlights left. If anybody is still on the fence on it, it might be a good idea to grab them up. And I just mention it because, you know, there's people that's going to watch this later. So, you know, I think all the people on here are not really interested in that. I could be wrong. What else is going on? I have a friend of mine here right now who's working on his van. He might stick his head in here, I don't know, as we're talking, but he's got a 79 bus here. He's actually got like a couple of buses here, and he's working. He works for the military as a colonel, I think, and he just comes and gets into the zone on his bus and gets to relax a little bit. So he's out in the office. It's really hot here today. I don't know what it's like where you guys are. Billy Shepherd, it's probably always hot where he is because he's in Arizona or something, but it's like 90 something here. It's 90 right now, and humidity is like ridiculous. I was looking at Belize yesterday, and it was cold. It was cooler there. It was like 85. I'm like, why am I in New Jersey? I could be in Belize right now and it would be cooler, but you know. Alright, so if you guys don't have any more questions or anything, yeah, mid-90s in New York. Yeah, I mean, it's hot. It's hot all over. It's hot in the U.S. right now. But I hope you guys can enjoy your van, have a nice 4th of July. I mean, we're going to be open, you know, all next week until probably, we'll take Thursday off for the holiday. But we're going to be open and stuff, so if you guys need anything, the only bad part comes in is with shipping. You know, as you get closer and closer to the holiday, it just gets to be more and more, you know, crazy with the shipping situation. So, you know, if you got something you need, I would order it like tonight, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, over the weekend. I can get it out Monday. So you guys got time for it to get to you. I know I got people, they'll be calling me on Wednesday at like 5 o'clock. And they'll be like, Ken, I need this part like overnight because my trip is tomorrow and I can't leave and all this other stuff. And I'm like, man, I can't help you. I'm sorry, but it's too late. Okay, so you can only wait too long. So Billy Shepherd says it's 105 where he is, but it's a dry heat. Okay, that does make a big difference. And I was out that way. We were just sweating it up, man. Like Arkansas, whoa, that thing was like an armpit. And we were going through all those states, got to Texas, and it was still hot. And we got the air conditioning fixed in this van. And then when we got to Arizona and New Mexico, I didn't even need it because it just didn't feel that hot out there. Actually felt kind of good, so we didn't use it. We got it fixed, and then we didn't use it until we got to California. Then the armpit situation came back into effect again, or it just got super hot or something. We were sitting at like 5 million stoplights. So I hope you guys have a great 4th of July. Remember our country, America, and what makes it great is just all the heritage of it, the people that fought for our freedoms, the people that had a vision of what a democracy and a republic could be, and that kind of thing. And just kind of remember them because, I mean, they had a lot of vision. They sacrificed a lot for us so that we could be here right now and do the things that we're doing. And, you know, we owe them a lot for that. I mean, I know people are kind of vilifying our founding fathers in our day. There's, you know, for a long time, we've been like kind of deifying them, like putting them into a mystical status. But just to be honest with you, that's part of any country. They always do that to their founders. It's kind of like part of national pride and all the other stuff. But, you know, then people's like, oh, we're going to like make them more human and bring them down. I mean, guess what? They were human, okay? They made mistakes. They, you know, did things that were considered normal and fine for their day, morally and ethically, that in our day are horrible. Okay, but you can't really judge them on that. You know, why would you do that to yourself? I mean, do you want people in the future judging you because their future morals are some crazy thing that you would be like, I would never do that, or I do that normally? So, you know, you have to like kind of take it with a grain of salt. So, you know, like my preacher used to say, you chew up the fish and you spit out the bones, right? I mean, that's how you got to do everything. So, USA, yep, is still the greatest country on earth. I agree, Rob. 100%. Okay? I don't agree with everything that happens here. I don't agree with everything that new thing that comes down the pike. I don't agree with everything that the president does, or that, you know, Congress does, or that whatever. But, you know, I never say that thing that people always say, like, that's not my president, that's not my this and that. You know, number one, I vote. Okay? Number two, if the vote doesn't go my way, I'm kind of fine with it, because at least I have a chance to vote, and I have that option. You know, people in other countries out there, they don't have that. Or if they do, it's like a complete farce where they just stuff the ballot box and the strong man wins or whatever. Okay? I mean, here we don't have that. Okay? We do have a good system in place, checks and balances, and I know that the media is crazy and they're picking up on all the crazy stuff, but to be honest with you, it's still the greatest country in the world. Like Rob says, I mean, you hear all this stuff on the news about people getting murdered, and you can't trust anybody, and kids are like going to school and a person comes by and grabs them and puts them in their van and all this other stuff. And that happens, but how often does it actually happen? Like, what are your chances of that happening to your child? Well, you would probably have a better chance of winning the lottery than having that happen to your child. And, you know, when we went across the country, you know, if you listen to the news, you'd be like, oh no, so many murders and things happening all the time. And there was only one time in our entire trip that I felt uncomfortable at all. And it was because I went to a place where people treated me terrible and ignored me, and I was talking directly to them, face to face, directly to them, and they were just looking through me like I didn't exist. That was Flint, Michigan. Okay, and just let you know where that was. That was Flint, Michigan. That was the only place on the entire trip I experienced anything like that, and I felt safe everywhere we went besides that. Okay, so you know, it's a great country. And not only that, but like if I was in a campground, if I was at a gas station, and just sitting there filling my camper up, I could talk to the person next to me at the next pump, be like, hey man, how you doing, and where are you from? And they would give me tips about where to go and see things. I mean, when we were in Tillamook area out in Washington State, I had no clue about what Tillamook was. We were just traveling through, and at this Sam's Club gas station, and this guy's like, hey, you know, if you're around here, you got to go to the Tillamook Cheese Factory, and they have like a tour, and you can eat there, and all sorts of stuff. I'm like, that sounds amazing. So we went right over there and had a great time, all because this random person that I met at a gas pump was nice. And that was my experience for the most of the trip. Okay, so, you know, don't let the news media, you know, make you negative about America, because it's still the greatest country on earth. Alright, I'm off of that rant now. Alright, so Billy Shepherd's got a question. He's back to square one with his engine. It's pouring oil. Looks like the rear main. I'm scared the engine builder didn't get the thrust washers in correctly or missing. I will mess with it when it cools down. That is depressing. And that's a Type 4, right, Billy? That's air-cooled, I believe, Type 4. They are the most trickiest ones I've ever rebuilt out of all of them. I don't understand why. It's like they They had that Type 1 engine. That is actually like fun to rebuild. I don't know if you've ever did anything like that. They're actually fun to rebuild. I can build one of them in probably like 4 hours max. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, Billy. It sounds like maybe it's building up crankcase pressure when it's running, and then it's pushing it out. So like if you have a crankcase pressure problem, and it's not releasing, it'll push out the seals. Like it'll find any seal and just push out it. So maybe that's what's going on. So maybe you should check your PCV valve, or like that tube that comes off of it for like a blockage or something. Because it's a 2.1. Okay. Yeah. Again, crankcase pressure. Like it can definitely happen. So you got like that little tower thing, right? That's by the alternator. Clean that out on the inside. Make sure that's nice and clean. And then there's a tube that goes from that to the intake. You want to make sure that's clear and not like collapse. Sometimes it'll collapse inside, and then it'll just push oil out the most easiest way. But yeah, I don't know. I've had them before too, where you have that problem and one of the seals got like ripped or something, or on install. So hopefully it's not a problem with your your shims or your washer, the thrust washers. There's really no way to see if they put the inner one in unless you do check your end play. You can check your end play, but you're gonna have to pull the motor out to do that. That's gonna suck. So, yep. But hopefully it's just like a rear main seal or something, and then you can just get another one, put it in, and hope for the best. But I would definitely check for that crankcase ventilation as well. I got John Deichweiter on here. He rebuilt his shifter linkage. Sounds good. Hopefully that's making it shift a lot better. Usually does. Yep. Okay. Alright, Billy, no problem. I still owe Billy some uprights. So we are also working on a new big brake kit for the Vanagon, and I've actually got 2 customers out there right now that are kind of working on it. And once that gets kind of like out of beta testing, then I'm going to start selling them again. But we've been getting these kits from Europe, and they've been. I think it's going to be a good kit. It's basically very similar to what Small Car is selling right now, and what we used to sell before our company that we got our big brake kits kind of went out of business. Okay. Yeah, that's weird. John, do you use the white lithium grease on there? That's what I usually use. I don't understand why you would need to grease it every so often, because usually once you clean it and everything, I usually like kind of sand the linkage too, like where it goes through the bushings, make sure they're like nice and smooth. And then I lubricate everything up with the white lithium grease, and then that's great for like a long time after that usually. So hopefully you can use the lithium grease on there. So I guess that's it, guys. I don't want to be on here forever today. Just use regular. Yeah, clean that off and use the white lithium. You need something that's going to grease it, but it'll be like really thin, but yet stay on there. So regular grease is too thick, and that's why it's stiffening up. Okay, so you don't want to use regular grease. You want to use the white lithium grease on there. You can get it in a spray can, and just kind of clean everything up, then spray it on there, work it a few times, and believe me, it'll do the job. Okay. Well, man, we're getting more people on here now as we go along, but I think I'm ready to call it a day. Okay, so guys, thanks for coming along. Please like, share, subscribe. You can also be a patron on Patreon. We got Eric Schneider, Chris Snyder, who's on here right now, and Peter Benici. They're still supporting us on Patreon. Or you can go to our website, www.vanagon.com, and purchase some items and things and stuff. And that helps us a lot. And you can also drive your Vanagon around, get more miles per gallon, enjoy life, and we will also be thankful for that. So pretty much it's a win-win for everybody. So thank you guys for being here today. Hope you guys have a great 4th of July weekend. And we will see you guys on the next video. Alright, talk to you guys later.